Hi, my friends. So, are you thinking about all the upcoming holidays and celebrations you're going to have? In today's video, I want to show you how to make some things for your table, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or just everyday celebrations that doesn't cost a fortune, and you'll never find them on another table. They'll be just yours, kind of a custom look. Hi, I'm Bonnie Overman. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope my channel will inspire you to lead a more productive, creative, and stylish life at any age, always on a budget. You know I'm going to be 74 in October, and I just can't believe it. And I say it because if I can do it, I know you can do it too at any age. I have confidence in you. I want to thank all my wonderful friends, all my dear sweet subscribers that take the time to watch my videos and comment. Oh, it just really means the world to me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. You don't want to miss fall, Halloween, and Christmas, the best time of the year. And if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. It does help my channel. So today we're going to be looking at different tablecloths and runners that you can make, and not always out of fabric. We're going to look at mats. What kind of mats can you put below your chargers and your china and all of that? Napkins and napkin rings. Napkin rings, you can make your own. If you do nothing else, make your own napkin rings, and you have a beautiful look at each person's table setting. And how to do a table setting, you know, how to do what I call a stack, from your mat to your charger to your entree to your salad plate and your napkin, how you stack those things. I'm gonna give you what I think looks really nice anyway. I hope you love this. I hope you're all thinking about the holidays, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye. So let's take a look at some tabletop things you can do for very little money that makes a big impact. I want to talk about runners first. Now, the one here on my left is one I made. Now, I did sew this, but you could actually hot glue this if you wanted to. I had a piece of fabric, just cut it my length, and then did a diamond point at the end, and then gathered another coordinating print on it, and it gives a very country French look. But you could buy already gathered ribbon or trim if you wanted to, but your fabric, this way you can match napkins, you can do all kinds of things. So this is one of my favorite ways to do a runner. Another way to do a runner is to just, let's say you're having a book club luncheon. What a cute runner this would be. But you can do these pages, or you could do sheets of music and just do them and have them hang over the sides of the table for a table runner. One of my other favorite things to do is to take your leaves from all the bunches of the silk flowers you get and save them. That's what this is. I just took an old oilcloth mat, so it's very stiff. And I did it as long as I wanted and just did a pointed end, and then just hot glued all these leaves. This came from my Wicked table, by the way. And I did add glitter and some glittered tulle over the whole thing, which looks so cool. But you could do this in browns. You could do it in rose petals, all kinds of things. And then one of my other favorite things I use all the time is this wide burlap, I guess you call it ribbon, in the wedding section at Walmart or in the craft section. It's already edged, so you don't have to worry about it fraying. So all you do is cut the length. Now this one has lace on it. If you don't want lace, you can just use the other side, but you can see how I finish this off. I just take and fold it into a point, hot glue it down, and you have an adorable table runner. You can make these any length, going down the table or going across the table this way. And if it gets dirty, you throw it away and make another one. All right, now I want to show you all my favorite placemats. Let's take a look at that. Okay, my friends, here are my favorite placemats. Now, this for fall is one of my favorites, and it's just leaves, little fall leaves glued on the back of a felt piece. Now, I did buy these. I bought them at Pier 1. I think they were $1 each on sale. But you can make your own placemat. It can be made out of rose petals, fall leaves, anything you want. Just have a base, glue everything onto it. You don't have to buy all this stuff. Okay, talking about purchase placemats. This is one of my favorite ones from Hobby Lobby. You see me use this all the time when I want texture, whether it's coastal or fall or Christmas or even springtime. Great texture in this one. This is my go-to one, this woven mat. I think I got it at World Market. I think they carry them everywhere though. For beach, for country, for vintage. This works for any time of the year, Christmas, fall, anything. Neutral and texture. For springtime, this is one of my favorite mats. Now, I did purchase this from Hobby Lobby. Just make sure to look at springtime, usually around January, February. Now I have two more down here that I actually made. This is made out of that same oilcloth, and these are just leaves. These are just those leaves you get with rose bushes. And of course, when you put a plate or a charger on here, it disappears. And then here's another one that looks more natural. This again is silk leaves. You can paint these, you can put glitter on them, you can make them shiny or dull, but I love these. And this one I just used a cardboard backing. My favorite placemats. Now let's look at my favorite chargers. All right, here are my favorite chargers I use all the time. Now, every single one of these came from Hobby Lobby, except for the gold one came from Target years ago, but you can find these at Home Goods. And I do have one from Pottery Barn. I had a gift certificate. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it because I think it was $30. But the rest of these I got on sale for $1.99. Faux wood. This light wood goes any season. Spring, summer, fall, Christmas, any time at all. Especially if you have a dark table or you have a dark placemat underneath. Black. One of my favorites. And this one's so unusual because it's fluted. For anytime you use black and white, check or toile, this is a great charger. One of my favorites, I love the red and white check. And of course this works for summer and 4th of July, but it's great. You're gonna see me use it every Valentine's Day on top of black and white toile or red and white toile. I'll use my red and white. And this is so fun. You can leave it like this or you can leave it like this. And colored chargers. I love this burnt orange. If I'm doing a summer citrus table and I have a plate that's got some orange in it, I will use this. Great for fall, anytime. And of course, for anything elegant, this, I cannot tell you how many tables I've had this on where I won Best of Show at the fairs. Now I want to show you how I put together what I call a plate stack. Let's take a look. Okay, I brought out my favorite kind of tablecloth, and it's anything that's black and white or black and cream. It goes with everything. You know, I have black and white check, and I have this toile, and it goes with pink in springtime. It goes with daisies and lemons in summer. It goes with fall leaves in fall, and of course red for Christmas. But I wanted to show you my plate stack. This is what I call, at each place setting, how I stack the plates so they look really, really good. I started here with my placemat. This is my leaf placemat, and I like it because it's very organic looking next to the very stark black charger. Then I have my plate, and I turned it so the checks are not going the other way. They have more of a diamond pattern. I know it's hard to tell, it is black and white. And then I have this salad plate that looks kind of like toile, okay? And that came from Home Goods. I just put a leaf on there. You don't have to. I didn't put a napkin on this one. You could do black and white check. You could do the color. This caramel would be beautiful for a napkin also. Now, we have entree fork and we have a salad fork. We eat from the outside in. And on this side here, now, normally, I would not put a spoon on this side because unless you're serving something that needs a teaspoon. If it was a soup spoon, it could go here also. This is how I would set the table. For salad, and then entree, your knife and your fork. The knife is always turned so the blade is towards the plate. It's considered safe for your guest, but I always put a little spoon here in non-competitive settings, because I would get marked down for that, just to balance out the table setting, and then again your stemmed glassware. So this makes a beautiful place setting. I have one more thing to talk about. It's one of my favorites. It's napkins and napkin rings. Let's take a look. Welcome to my favorite part of the video. Yes, napkins and napkin rings, my favorite, because what you're going to do is you're going to take some burlap ribbon that's already edged, and you are going to wrap it around a piece of a paper towel roll. You can kind of squish it kind of flat so it lays flat. Glue it on the back. Now you have the perfect base, because I know you guys don't have a lot of maybe china, or you don't want to buy a lot of china. You can use a fabulous placemat or charger or tablecloth, your everyday dishes, and then plop on a fabulous napkin and napkin ring, and you have made your table. So it can be as simple as that. This is the base you're going to start from, and I'm going to show you all the different types you can do. Up here is my exotic examples. So here I have my basic burlap ribbon little napkin ring with some twine. Here's one I did for a King Tut table. Just cut something out of a book. You could use ephemera, whatever you want, and glue it on. Here's one where I just used odd pieces of ribbon. If you look closely, this is the burlap in between. This is just pieces of ribbon I glued on, and I secured it on the back. You saw this one this month. Now this has a print on it, but it's the same idea. Some raffia and some beads. Oh, it's just so cool. It just takes your table from plain and everyday to amazing. Now I want to show you some Christmas ones while we're here. Now here's one I made, and I just took some pages and cut some holly leaves, glued the edges, and I put on some glitter. 3 balls. You can see it's the same thing. And use any type of a napkin. You could do any type of a color you wanted to do. Here's one I did from a Christmas in Wonderland thing. So you can make your own. You can see I covered this one with fabric, put some leaves, a teacup, a little key, and some roses for Alice in Wonderland. How cute for a Christmas tea. That would be a really cute theme. Here's 2 more Christmas ones. This again, I just took, wrapped it in felt, glued on some of this thick yarn, a little piece of black paper, and I made a little belt buckle out of a piece of a pipe cleaner. Absolutely, you guys, you can make these for pennies. And then I love the candy, and I just took these pipe cleaners, glued it around, I glued on some felt, and made a little peppermint in the middle. So adorable. Now, let me show you. This is perfect for Thanksgiving. I just put it on top of here. Things can be temporarily glued on your base, so you're not having to make these things you can only use in fall. You saw this one here. You have country, shabby chic. This goes for Christmas or fall or any time. That glues on. And then here's one for fall. I just did some burlap and a little sunflower, tucked in some feathers, but look how cute it is without. Again, plain burlap napkin ring, and I just put on some ribbon. But when you add these little things, look how cute it looks. Let's make some napkin rings. And if you want to, some napkins to go with. Or you can do like I do a lot of times and just use your neutral ones. All right, I hope this was so helpful to you, especially if you're entertaining or even want to take something to a party. I think a lot of people would like to get some of these little napkin rings. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.